before Christmas come in, so definitely we're going to have this conversation tonight. We're talking about passion and emotions. And I know that some of you who are not familiar with Freemasons, we often talk about passions and emotions. The compass and square itself, and you can get this out of any Masonic book you want to. You can go to Barnes and Nobles, you can order your books, you can read. This is free information. This is no secrets. This is nothing pressing or anything like that. But when we talk about emotions and passion amongst the craft, you are really talking about the compass and square. You're really talking about what do you come here to do, you know? And I know a lot of us like to have conversation about a variety of things, but when you look at, when it says that Masons help a good man to become a better man, no, Masons actually help that good man to be a great Mason or a good Mason. And you may be asking, well, how does that transpire? How do that lodge help that person become a better Mason? Well, within the framework of Freemason, within the framework of the foundation of Freemason, when you're talking about symbolism, which is the first language, you're talking about that compass and square, is going to be able to, if you apply it correctly, be able to teach you some valuable things in regards to yourself in dealing with your passions and emotions. See, I've learned something along the way in life. When you are debating someone, or you are going back and forth with information regarding a certain topic thereabouts, when a person begins to call you out of your name and begins to want to try and belittle you in regards to whatever that subject may be, that person has lost his emotion. He has lost his opportunity to really have a good conversation and dialogue. That person doesn't understand how to apply that square and that compass in his daily life and objective, because what he's done is he didn't look at the framework. He didn't look at what the meaning behind that emblem symbolizes. What he did was he came in, became a Mason by learning the lingo per se and his study guides, but that's all he did. That's all he did. And then they said, had he made suitable proficiencies in a preceding degree? And because he was pretty good at giving you back that which he studied without giving you any enhancement about what he studied, this is what you get. This is what you get. So tonight we're going to talk about emotions and passions. We're going to talk about the compass and the square. What does that square really mean? In the essence of passions and emotion, what does that compass really mean in regards to passion and emotions? Because when you wear that apron, and that, you know how you supposed to wear that apron as a enter apprentice, when you wear that apron as an enter apprentice, you're dealing with your low emotions. We're talking straight Mason. We're talking straight symbolism and what it means and what's behind the curtain. So when you wear that apron, you're strictly talking about the lower emotions that you're going to be dealing with as you mature into being a Mason, a better man, or a good Mason. You catch that on the way home. That's what you're talking about. So you might as well get your cigar, get your little something. We're going to have this conversation tonight. This is what we're going to do. So I hope that you're joining us. I hope that along the way, as we discuss and have this particular topic, and I see something what's in the comment, we're gonna get it in. What's going on? Point blank, what's happening with you, brother? It was good having you on the phone call today with the National Grand Master Tyrone Montgomery. I hope everything went well. You know, it was a great conversation, so I'm quite sure it did. So if you don't mind, if you're here, please hit the like button. Please come on in, hit the thumbs up button, and let's have this conversation tonight about emotions, okay, and how to regulate them, okay, and how to regulate your passion. Because so many times we look at our emotions and our passions as the same thing. Emotions and passions are totally different. They're two separate things, but within the framework of the compass and square, you should be able to I'm not going to say overcome, but be able to control your emotions in that passion. You know, even today, I continue to work on my emotions and my passion. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you. I continue to to work on my passions and my emotions, because when we are having conversations, when we are in debates, when we are dealing with individuals, sometimes we allow our emotions to get in the way of our passion. And then it seems as if we're arguing. It seems like I'm trying to really get a point across, but because of my high voice and because of the true passion and the emotions behind my passion, I lose people. You lose people. They don't want to hear you. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it. So in today's subject matter, when we look at the square and we say we should square our actions, what does that look like? Your actions are your emotions. Your actions are your passion. They're the same. I mean, when you put them in there, although they're different, they're riding a coattail. They're riding each other's back right there, neck and neck. So when you have these high emotions about something, you're very emotional about it. Your feelings gets in the way. And then the passion pours over it. It all gets muddied up in the water. But when you are able to control it and you look at the compass and what you say, that compass, you said that it's you're able to point that compass down and draw a complete circle. You said, I'm always going to be able to touch on the boundaries. But more especially with my brother Masons, I'm going to touch on the boundaries. I may sometimes get right on the edge, but I should be able to control my passions and my emotions, especially when I'm dealing with someone who's just as emotional and passionate as I am. But what we don't do a lot of times, we get so caught up, we get so angry, we get so mad until we toss the very thing aside that we said that we would be able to take and apply. I should be able to take the square and apply. I should be able to take the compass and apply it. And when you understand them too and how they fit together and lay over each other, it's a whole nother ball game. A light should switch on. Greetings. What's going on, OG Classic? How you doing? Point Blank. Roland, how you doing? Welcome aboard, Vincent. How you holding up, brother? Don't forget to call me up when you're ready to do the thing, all right? Don't forget. Today's topic and discussion is going to be about, and we're talking about emotions and passion. And we are taught as Masons to be able to subdue them. But how do you subdue them? What's the process of subduing your emotions and your passion? You've heard that before. Get the light up, brothers. Follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Get the likes up. Appreciate you. So we should be able to get to be able to put together those emotions and be able to put together those passions. And once we got them, we should be able to monitor them, control them, put them in their rightful place. There's nothing wrong with having emotions. There's nothing wrong with having passion. But when you're not able to put them in their right place, there's a lot that is wrong with emotions. There's a lot that is wrong with passion. But you have to be able to put them in a rightful place. And understanding what the compass and the square and how they fit and join, then you're able to place them in their rightful place. A lot of us have not yet understood how to do that. We have not understood how to do it. Because we get so riled up, we want to get our point across. We tend to overlook and not listen to what a person is conveying or trying to say, because we really want to get our point across. We're so passionate about what we believe in. We're so passionate about what we stand on. We're so passionate about it until we miss the picture, until we just miss everything that's before us. I'm a passionate guy too. I'm passionate about Masonry. I'm passionate about the brotherhood and what it actually means, not based upon somebody's opinion, but what does it really mean? I'm passionate about it, but I'm not going to be so passionate about it until I miss the opportunity to listen to someone else who may be just as passionate as I am. I'm not going to pass up that moment, that opportunity, because there's always a learning factor in anything and anybody that you're dealing with. You have to be able to pull something out of it, be it good, bad, or indifferent. You have to be able to pull something out of it. I'll tell you this. I'm on TikTok a lot of times for I'm on it, and it's pretty cool. So on the TikTok channel, I tell everybody, if you're going to come up in the box, you must be respectful to everyone, regardless of their jurisdiction. You must treat them with dignity and respect. And somebody was like, I know how they looked, how they probably felt, what they was thinking. I said, no. I said, that's not what Masons are. That's not who they are. True Masons. I mean, those who understand the essence, that which draws a man into it. He that understand that he must treat all men with dignity and respect. He must be able to listen and understand the person who's talking to him, and not just his own opinion, although his opinion matters to him. But because he's so dogmatic about it, he's really missing the opportunity to build. He's missing it because of his passion. He's missing it because of his emotions. You ever heard somebody say he let his emotions get the best of him? In Freemasonry, in that thing we call the craft, we should be teaching the elements of how to be able to gravitate and pull from your emotions to calm you down. We should be able to teach from that part that calms you down to look at the emotions behind it. In Masonry, you should be in a class of understanding those things that get you hyped out, get you real hyped. Because that's what you come here to do, to learn and subdue my passions, right? So how do you do that? How do you subdue your passions? Passions are good. I ain't gonna lie, passions are good, but they must be put in a category. They must be weighed. They must be put in its rightful place. And if you're not able to do that, then you're gonna have issues in life because your passion got in the way. Because your emotions got in the way. Oh man, you too emotional. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, come on. Calm down. What do you mean calm down? See, your emotions, they're all balled up. You know how somebody say you got all your emotions balled up? Come on now. We got to be able to break that thing down and put it in its rightful place and be able to use it when it's needed, but yet understand its full potential. Because to have passion can really move you forward, and to have passion can really bring you down. To put your emotions in front of everything that you do can really cause you more harm than good. So you got to be able to put it in its rightful place. So those emotions that you have all bundled up can be really useful at a time in its rightful place. All the passion that you have, it can really push you forward in life and get you over the hump when it's used in its rightful place and order. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of passion and a lot of emotions. There's nothing wrong with it. It's how you use it. So in Masonry, in the process of moving into the next degree and understanding and learning how to subdue that emotion, subdue that passion, because they can get in the way. They can actually get in the way of your progress because he was too emotional. He allowed it to get in his way, and now look at him. He was too passionate, and he got in his way. Now look at him. No, put those things in their rightful place and use them accordingly. Absolutely. Take that compass and square those actions and be firm on what you believe. You yet be understanding and be tolerant and be able to listen. Take that compass and place it down. And as you begin to trace and make a complete circle of 360 degrees, understanding the boundaries that circle has set, and that you yourself said, I will walk upon and I will touch upon these boundaries, but I will stay within due form of my brothers. Think about that. So when you think about bringing another member in, when you look at a sister, you want to bring her into the Order of the Eastern Star, think about those 5 points and what they mean and how they represent the elegancy of a woman and how she's supposed to represent herself as she walked through the labyrinth of life. But when you can't do that and you don't understand the colors and how the colors relate to the chakras that are inside of you and how to bring those things out in the manifestation of how it is to be a mother, a daughter, a friend, a sister, a widow, in the progression of becoming that mature woman without your clothes being so tight. Every time you got to walk, you got to pull your dress down. Every time you got to walk, you got to have that switch about yourself. Your elegance as a woman, as a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, as you walk around those 5 points in the beginning of that process, should teach you, should explain to you, should be able to bring forth that elegancy of a woman out of you. So you don't have to be dressed in a certain way. You dress like a woman. You carry yourself like a woman. You become the very essence of what a woman should be because of those 5 points and what they mean. And when you be able to break down the gems and the pearls of those 5 points, it brings the full woman into focus. It does. It brings the full woman into focus. This is why it's important that to understand that within the compass and square, the star itself is hiding it. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to say it again. The compass and square is hidden within the 5 points of the Order of the Eastern Star. And if you understand that, then when you look at the star point and you're able to point out the compass and square that is hidden inside of it, then you understand how the two coexist and understanding what they bring to someone's life. That's why a lot of brothers said, man, I was really rough, man. When I got into the Masons, man, it kind of calmed me down. Because you was around a good group of men. Sister said, man, I was wilding out. Well, when I became an Eastern Star, because you was around a good group of women. I didn't say girls. I didn't say even young ladies. I said women. See, that's where your lodge comes into play. That's where your chapter comes into play. I had older sisters around me when I was coming up as a young patron that educated me and taught me how to be the best patron I can be for that chapter. I had older gentlemen around me when I was coming up as a young apprentice, a young man in the Masonic order who showed me to be able to care for the craft. That's what's missing. That's what's missing. What's up, Chef? A man has to put on a dress. What in the heck are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. You said a man got to put on a dress to join. You need to go somewhere with that one, bro. Real talk. Come on now. You got to do better than that. I don't know where you got that from. I couldn't even tell you where you got that from. Hey, Jerry, what's happening? Who is Chef? Someone remove this. Absolutely. Yeah, remove that. I have my administrator to go ahead and take that out because that's not something that we do here. You put on a dress to join and look up people. Wow, man. If my administrator is still in here, could you please remove what Jeff is saying? I certainly would appreciate it. Absolutely. Because that is crazy. What's up, Brother Vincent? Brother Vincent, if you're in here, could you remove what Chef is saying? Because that's not appropriate for this particular episode here tonight as we talking about emotions and as we talk about passion. That's not what we're dealing with here tonight. So just please, if you can, just remove the comments. He's welcome to stay as long as he can be respectful. If you cannot be respectful, you got to move on. I tell you what, Chef, I'm gonna do this for you. Since you say that's a lie, are you a Mason, Chef? That's gonna be my first question. Are you a Mason? And if you tell me you are a Mason, I would like to know what jurisdiction you're in, because I can tell you right now in this jurisdiction for which I'm a part of, we don't do that. We don't do that. The pleasure is not to listen. One way to heaven. Oh, well, okay. Can you be my father? Oh, who is Jay? I don't know who Jay is. Tell us about Jesus, my brother. Well, you should go learn about Jesus. I mean, this conversation is not about Jesus. You need to go pick up your Bible and read about him. I mean, that's the best I can tell you. You know, that's not this conversation tonight. This conversation is about understanding your passion, understanding your emotions and putting them in the right perspective, the right place as a Mason. We're talking about what does that compass and square and how does it relate? And we're talking about the 5 points of the Order of the Eastern Star and becoming that woman that so many are missing today. The woman is missing. The young ladies are out there, but the woman is missing. And I say that only because of those who I've came up under, those who I've watched, those who I've seen and how they carry themselves. Even when times was rough and tough, they were still able to carry themselves with dignity and honor, despite what may have been going on in their life. And that's one of the essence that I love of a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star. She doesn't allow herself to be brought down to such a level to de-dignify herself, if that's such a word of de-dignify, because she's a dignified woman. She doesn't want to downgrade herself. So what she do is she maintain the dignity or dignity of what a woman is in her aura and how she carries herself. So if you are a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, one who's able to understand her emotions, one who's able to understand her passion, when she's guided by that sister around those 5 points, she's going to be met and explain what they mean. So in the process of understanding that, she's going to come out understanding her passion. She's going to come out understanding her emotions and how to be able to put them in such a way and categorize them in order that she may grow. And the same applies to her brother. Youth, manhood, and age. In your youth, you're very passionate. You're very emotional. In your manhood, you should be able to take them passions and take those emotions and put them in a rightful place. So when you become that man, you understand that you be able to control your emotions and be able to put them in certain places and be able to control your passion, so you don't want to overtake the other and get you in trouble. You know, your passions and your emotions can really put you in a very, very bad place because you let your passion got the best of you. They let their emotions got the best of them. They can put you in a very bad place. So when you mature as a Mason, when you be able to break that down, you're going to be able to move forward. And that's what we should do. That is what we should be teaching. That's just part of what we should be teaching in our lodges. But we don't get that. What most Masons get in their lodge is not an educational form of Freemasonry. They get more of what's the next dinner? When is the next barbecue? When is the next this? What should be actually taught in your lodge? It should be more educational. It should be about your finances. It should be about how to be a better man. It should be about how to rise above the fray, how to do this and how to build. If you're not getting an educational part of Freemason in your lodge, you're not getting anything. You're not. There should be individuals in your lodge that should be able to teach you about finances, to be able to teach you about business, to be able to teach you how to be a better husband, how to do certain things to better yourself as a man. And if there's nobody in there to do that, and all y'all think about is having a good time and having a party, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. You're not. I'm honored to have people in my lodge that are passionate about a variety of things. Even I've had to tell one of my brothers, I know you're passionate about it, but don't let your passion ruin what you really love. Remove your emotions out of it and think clearly through it. Because when people get angry, Their emotions rises up. And now they can't think straight because your emotions are in the way. And when you have passion in your way, you can't function right because you got that passion for it. You're not listening. Passion blocks that. But when you're able to put it in its rightful place, you can listen to when someone talking to you because of the passion that you have. You don't have to worry about your emotions getting in the way because you're able to do the job without putting your emotions in the way and causing harm or hurt. You're able to do that. But a lot of times we're not able to do that because of what we allow to happen around us. You can't control everything. You can't. But what you can do is put yourself in a place to be able to learn from what has ever happened to you. You can do that. You have to want to do that. I want to welcome everybody aboard today. This is not for anybody 14 is not watching this. I have this on a kid's the age limit. I have this on the age limit, so you got to move on with that one. Greetings to you. Greetings. I want to send a big shout out to my lodge brother. He's in Virginia right now. His mom passed away. Brother George, I just want to let you know that my heart is with you. My spirit is with you. I'm praying for you and for your family that you may get through this moment in life. I would tell you, brother, never forget the voice of your mother. Never forget that voice. Never forget the great things that what she meant to you. The great things that she done for you. Never forget those things. Those things are precious. And as long as you live, she's going to live. Period. Bar none. Energy never dies. It transforms. So a lot of us, when we think of losing a loved one or somebody close to us has left, we get so emotional. We get so embodied until we can't think of the great things that they left us with. We can't, including myself. I had a large brother to pass away some years ago. I mourned for 2 years. I didn't mourn that long for my dad, but I mourned for that brother because of what he meant for me, because of what he gave me in this life. I mourned. I went to his house and I cried every time I went over there. I went over there. His wife told me, if you cry one more time, I'm not going to welcome you back. Because she said, you have cried enough. It's time for you to move forward. So my hat goes off to you, Brother George, and I wish you well, brother. I wish you well. So we got to understand, I am trying. Well, brother, keep pressing forward. You know, trying gets you everywhere. When you're not trying, you don't move. You stay where you at. So keep trying. Keep trying to put them in that right perspective. You know, I tell myself all the time, when I feel that I'm getting too emotion or too something, I sit back and I take a deep breath. Several. To bring down, to calm myself down, to ease me into what I need to say. Because when we are so emotional, so passionate about something, we end up saying the wrong thing. We end up being like, da, da, da. And you be like, oh man, I'm sorry. No, it's too late. Those words are gone. Once words leave your mouth, once these words go out, and they begin to create that which you send them out to create, you can't bring them back. They're gone. That's it. This is why it's very important to understand language and how you're able to uplift and tear down, how you're able to put into and take out of. You can build people up with your words, and you can take them down with them very words. And the passion for which you use those words and how you're able to transform somebody means a lot. So when I say, hey, man, you know, I love you, and I say it with passion, it's going to mean something to that person. You know, the vigor of the word, the energy of the word transcends into that person being till he is going to understand that I meant that. She is going to understand that I meant that. But if you walk up to someone and you just, hey man, I love you. Then well, what is that? That has no passion behind it, no emotions behind it. They're all in their rightful place, but there's nothing behind it. So the person receives nothing. And it gives nothing. You know how they say, oh, he was very passionate. She was very passionate. You know, but they allow their emotions to get in the way. If he just could have controlled his emotions, he wouldn't have went to jail tonight. If she just wouldn't have been so passionate, maybe she wouldn't have killed him. I'm just saying. So that's why it's important to understand that compass and square and how to be able to apply it, not just for its simple meaning of dividing your time into what they said, to divide your time for God, family, work, that sort of thing. No. It goes deeper than that. It goes way deeper than that. You got to be able to take and to square your actions. Square your actions. What does it? He knocked me off my square. Why would you let someone get you off your square? Because you was too emotional. You was too passionate. And they took advantage of you being passionate in emotion and in your emotions. And so they was able to get you off your square, that those who like to say, I'm on my square. Don't let them knock you off your square. It's very easy to do when you're over passionate, when you're over emotional, and people play on it. They play on it all the time. Watch them. They play on it all the time. Greetings, everybody. I'd like to welcome you in tonight. I'm just scrolling up right now. Unanimous wish for Scottish Rite out of Texas. Greeting to you. How you doing? Subdue your passion and improve yourself. Absolutely. Abraham Lodge, number 102, House of Masons, for Masons. Greetings. What's going on, Victor? How you doing? Welcome aboard, everybody. Get you some tea. Sit back and relax. You know, as we approach the holidays, I hope everything is well for you and your family. You know, if you work for the government, I understand that within a few hours, possibly, the government probably will shut down because they cannot reach an agreement on a budget or implement a plan. Wow, that's crazy. But with that being said, we're going to get back on the topic tonight, emotions and passions. What does that mean to you? How does that play a part in your daily walk, your daily journeys, your emotions and your passions? You know, when you're at work, when you're at home, when you are in the store, how does that play a part for you? Where do you place your emotions and passions at? How are you able to subdue them and put them in their rightful place? If you want to call in tonight and want to have that conversation, certainly you're welcome to do so. The number is going to be 619-286-0642. While I'm live tonight, that number is available to you if you want to call in. And now look, I did not forget. I have not forgotten. For those of you who have asked, and it was a lot of you asked, and I'm sorry that I hadn't gotten it to everybody. I'm working on it, but a lot of you have already asked that you wanted to get this here. You wanted to get this, all right? This is what you wanted me to get to you, and I'm working on it. So please work with me, bear with me. I'm gonna make sure that if you email me, I will get you this. This is Prince Hall Commission on Clandestine Masonry. This is their playbook I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. I just wanted to point that out to let you know I did not forget. To the brother who won the baseball cap, you got to hit me back. I think you're out of the Most Wishful Sons of Light Grand Lodge. Please hit me up. I'm going to have to go back in my emails. I hope I have not deleted it, but I'm quite sure you gave me the email to the Grand Lodge. And if that is so, please re-email me. A brother a couple of weeks ago won a baseball cap, and I want to be able to get him his baseball cap. I will send that to you. All right. So we're going to get right back into it tonight. So please welcome aboard as we talk about emotions and passion, and how does that play into the framework of the Order of the Eastern Star in Freemasons? How does that play into it? I mean, I'm quite sure most of you who are Masons understand and talks about it all the time. How you come in to learn and subdue your passions. You know, you talk about that, but how do you subdue them? How do you learn to subdue them and put them in the right place? How do you learn to subdue not only your passion, but your emotions? Where do you put them at? How do you put them in their rightful place? That's the question. How do you do it? I can tell you how I do it, how I place them in their rightful category. And I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, sometimes my passion gets the best of me and my emotions do too. But it's a continuous work in progress. It's something I build on. How did I allow my emotions to get the best of me? So I look at, after I've gone through whatever I've gone through, I take a step back and I look. There was a trigger, there was a word, there was something that set me off. What was it? Once I identify that, then I have to put that in its rightful place. So when I'm in another conversation or when I'm dealing with someone else, and that word comes up, it no longer triggers me now because I know that's the word that sets me off. So now my emotions gets the best of me. Learn your trigger words. Learn those things that set you off and be able to take them and put them and set them aside in such a place to where they're not able to set you off anymore. The same goes for my passion. You know, some people have a passion about art. Some people have a passion about drawing and about acting and about a whole lot of different, they are passionate about it. Some people get so caught up in the character that they play until they're not able to come out of it until it's over. They're passionate about it. And then some of us get so emotional when we watch a good movie. I'm emotional, I'm crying. What was it that triggered you to get that emotional in regards to a movie? What is it? You have to learn to subdue that passion. You have to learn to subdue those emotions. I'm not saying get rid of them, but to subdue them, because there's a time and place that you're going to need your emotions and your passion. You're going to need them. So you must be able to harvest the energy that they bring to the table. I'm going to say that again. You must be able to harvest the energy of your passion and emotion when they come to the table, when they come to the forefront. Because without you being able to harvest that energy, they can really blow up. They can really set off. They can set it off. You know, when you've been heated in a conversation, you know your emotions can really set it off. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to calm the waters with it. You know how you're talking to people, you're able to talk with a calm voice to people. It calms them down. You come with that fire and that anger is going to fire them up. So you must be able to put that in its rightful place. And I keep saying words that would help you to remember to do that. Rightful place is a key word that I keep using. Greetings to everybody who's popped in tonight. I hope that you're doing well. I really had to use my tools today at work. Oh man, well, you know what? I hope in the process of you using your tools today at work that they really help you to understand that you are dealing with some things, man. You're dealing with some things. I hope you was able to square your actions and be able to place that in its rightful place, for lack of a better word. I certainly hope you was able to do that. In order for a good man to be a better man, he must be able to control his emotions and displaying of those emotions. I agree. Absolutely. OG classic. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Where I was, let me see. I think where I work is so toxic, it's mentally draining on me. Well, I would say this. If you're because I've worked in a toxic place before. When you are in a toxic work environment, it is best when you have an opportunity to be by yourself, do that. When you are in a toxic work environment, if you can be by yourself, do that. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Now, this is gonna trip you out. This is gonna really trip you out. So I have a alternate person. You know, I have an alternate person. You'll catch that on the way home. And I have a conversation with him all the time. And people begin to look at me like, who is he talking to? Who is he talking to? I'm talking to me. I'm in a full-blown conversation with me. I'm asking me questions and I'm answering the question. And people are looking like, oh, he gone. He gone. I'm glad you're not talking to me. I don't want you to talk to me. I need for you to stay away from me. I'm just saying it worked for me. I just started having a full-blown conversation. It looked like, is Hawkins all right? Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. Absolutely. I'm just saying. Let me see. Huda, nobody told you to come on here. Yeah, if there's someone who's trolling and they just want to come in and cause chaos, I would ask that my administrators, go ahead and remove them, because this ain't that type of environment. What we're trying to do is just really have an open conversation, and maybe we can learn from each other by me reading some of the things that you put in the chat, and maybe even if you want to call in, because it's a growth process from youth to manhood, from youth to age to manhood. That's the process. If you're not getting that out of your lodge, I don't know what lodge you're in. I'm going to say this again. If you're not getting that out of your lodge, I don't know what lodge you're in. They're not teaching you the fundamental concepts of Freemasonry. They're not. If all you're going to get is a history lesson out of your lodge, you're in the wrong lodge. If that's all you're getting is a history lesson, all you're getting is a conversation about somebody else, and there's no real learning aspect in it, it's worthless. If there's no learning aspect in your lodge, it's worthless. You're in a worthless lodge. Fact. This is not an opinion, it's a fact. If your lodge is not educating you or not giving you anything tangible that you can say, oh, I didn't know that, or oh, it's a learning process, nah, you're in the wrong lodge. You're absolutely in the wrong lodge. Real talk. Yep, disrespect will not be tolerated. Absolutely. Govern yourselves accordingly. Greetings. How you doing, Rules? With the money sign. Skyward, what's going on with you? Appreciate it. How to become a member? I'll tell you this. There are several Masonic jurisdictions out here. Several. And I'm going to name them off to you. You have the ancient, free, and accepted Masons. African Americans, that's a John G. Jones affiliation. That's a John G. Jones Brotherhood. Then you have a Prince Hall, PHA, Prince Hall affiliation. They're here. Then you have PHO, Prince Hall Origin. They are the original Prince Hall organization. Then you have International and Modern Free. So there's several aspects of various jurisdictions out here. Oh, and you have mainstream Grand Lodges. That's a majority of white Masons in the various states. So there are many Masonic jurisdictions here. I'll tell you this. If you're looking to become a Mason, find a lodge that is nearby, or a person that you know that may be a Mason, and ask them, hey, I'm interested in becoming a Mason. And then watch them. Watch them. See how they conduct themselves. And then ask yourself, do I want to be around people like that? Not just Masons, but like that. They call themselves Masons, but how do they carry themselves? So I tell any person, I don't care what lodge you become a part of, as long as that lodge is going to teach you how to be a Mason. Teach you how to be a Mason. That's when I meet a brother, that's the only thing I'm concerned with. Treating somebody with dignity and respect. Okay? And if they don't like me, okay, they got a problem. It's not my problem, because I love me some me. So if you don't like me, that's a problem you got. That ain't my problem. So you have to find a way to work that out between you and whoever. But it ain't my problem. But with that being said, certainly knock on the door of a lodge, watch them, see how they carry themselves, and ask yourself, do you want to be around those particular brothers? And if the answer is no, then that lodge is not for you. Go to another one. Knock on their door. That is something I would tell you should do. Okay? I'm not vowing for any particular lodge or jurisdiction. I'm not going to do that. But I would tell you there are 5 or 6 of us out here, and you need to find the right one that's going to fit you. And you have to ask yourself, what are you looking for? What do you want to get out of Masonry? And what are you bringing to it? Because if you're an ass right now and you become a Mason and you don't apply the things that are going to be handed to you and you don't apply them, you're still going to be an ass. You're going to be an ass who's a Mason. That's the simplest way to put it. I did not watch that. Is that a good movie to watch? Mona, is that a good movie to watch? One day at a time, brother. Absolutely. Most Wishful Harem Grand Lodge out of New York. What's going on with you? Greetings to you. Greetings to you. What's your Grand Master name now? Out of Harem Grand Lodge in New York. What's your Grand Master's name? Out of abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. This is very spiritual life. Turn to Jesus and save yourself from feeling the wicked desires of the flesh. Okay. God bless the works. What part upon the we part upon the square instead, enlighten Masons. Victor Williams, what's happening with you? Queen of the South Lodge, number 77, North Carolina. Queen of the South Lodge? Oh, okay, I've heard of some names, but Queen of the South. I'm thinking of the Order of the Eastern Star. I could be wrong when I hear that. I'm just saying, no disrespect to you. But that's just some I'm not human rights and people rights. Hey, brother, just now jumping in the live. What's the topic for the day? Hit the like button. The topic of today is emotions, right? Dealing with your emotions and your passions. So as a Mason, we talk about how do we circumscribe and how do we take that square and place it and work within the framework of it with our emotions and with our passions. So that's the topic of today. So I'm just scrolling through right now just to see what's happening. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button. The answer is somewhat in the universal directions of human rights. South Africa. Victor Williams, you got me thrown off with that one. United Nations adopted the Charter Universal Declaration in 1981. Victor Williams, I don't know what that has to do with what I'm talking about right now. But hey, greetings. Hit the like button. I appreciate it. I'm just going up just to see what we're talking about today. I've learned how empty negative passions are. Empty things are easy to subdue. Also, I've learned to give people the trigger to my emotions. If they have that power, they are my masters. Absolutely. You know what? Slim Daddy, you're right. Daddy number 9, you're right. If a person has the trigger words to set you off, they know it's gonna set you off. Yeah, man. Yeah, brother. You right. You are absolutely correct. They got you tied up, hooked, and synced. They got you. I ain't gonna even lie to you. That's real talk. What's up? 357. All right, you've been here for a minute. I've already said that one. Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Please enjoy. Come on in. Let's have this conversation. Greetings from the most wishful Florida Grand Lodge. What's going on, David? How you doing? Glad to have you in. I hope that this conversation is enlightening and intriguing to you, because what I feel, I've been a Mason for a while. What I find is that in a lot of lodges, we don't necessarily teach anymore. We don't. A lot of lodges do not teach anymore. There are some that do, but the majority of Masonic lodges do not teach anymore. I would tell you this. This is what we do here. So for our Masonic meetings that we have here, especially during our Masters Council, before we close the lodge, we make sure that that someone brings forth a lecture for today. There are some teachings going on. Although, we take care of business, collect dues, the simple stuff that you do at a meeting. We do those things. However, the teachings of Masonry must be fulfilled within the lodge. Whether you are outside on a star recovery deck or a low veil or a low heel, that teaching must be able to be handed down to his members. And I don't know about you, but I find a lot of times in a lot of these lodges that doesn't necessarily happen. It is very important for brothers of the craft to go ahead and to do that. Just a second. Oh man, I'm anyway, I'm back. I know it was spinning in a loop. Anyway, with that being said, look, as we deal with our emotions, man, I've gotten emotions. I'm telling you, I need to check my emotions now. After that, I'm gonna have to check my emotions now and put myself, take that square and that compass and put it down and lay it over and work with it from that point of view, because that's crazy. And people still trying to, no, I'm not gonna do that. No, I can't, no. Not Brother Lightfoot. If you're on here tonight, do me a favor and you can call me. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you can definitely give me a call on the other number, 619-286-0642 if you want to call in and have this conversation. I know that I was trending for a second, and then all of a sudden I got interrupted here. The Eye of Horus, or all-seeing eye, is symbolic of representing the pineal gland. Absolutely it is. The ideal is, how do you wake that up? How do you give that spark to that pineal gland that is dead? How do you open it up? How do you open up the pineal gland? How do you make it pop? Because in a lot of us, that's dead. It's dead in a lot of us. You can't bring it back. It's gone. But that's a good one. You're absolutely right. I have to give you that one, brother. I have to give you that. I am blessed because I can look down at the grass versus up at the roots. You know what? I'm going to tell you. Let me see. Who wrote that? Slim Daddy number 9. I'm going to use that one. I'm blessed because I can look down at the grass and not up at the roots. Brother, that is so deep on so many different levels. Do you even understand? Well, you understand what you said, brother. Teaching out of the Lesters Look to the East is not a good book. The Lester Look to the East, that particular Masonic ritual, is good for those who use it. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're going to really teach in regards to Freemasonry, if you're going to do that, then you have to go beyond the ritual. I'm going to say that again. If you're going to teach regarding Freemasons, the Freemasons, or even the Order of the Eastern Star, if you're going to teach, you're going to have to go beyond the ritual. Set the ritual aside. Set it aside. You're going to have to go beyond that because the ritual is just the foundation. The ritual sets you up. But now you got to start mixing that stuff. You got to start finding out, okay, what does this stuff mean? And when you do that, you're going to go down some rabbit holes. You are going to hit some rabbit holes, no doubt about it. You're going to hit them. So yeah, Lester Look to the East is a good ritual. Duncan is a good one. They're all publicly. You can go and buy them all. I'm not mad at all. The process is do you understand when you pick them up what it's all about? So the teachings, you're going to have to close that ritual and go get some other books. Plain and simple. Absolutely. That's the truth. And just like any brother, any Masonic brother that have come to my home, any of them have always left with a book. I'm going to say this again. Any Masonic brother that have come to my home has always left with a book. Because the stuff that's here, I can't, once I'm gone, it's gone. The thing is I want to be able to leave something here tangible for my craft, for the brothers of the craft, for those who know me. I want to be able to say, here you go. And then I want you to be able to take that, indulge in it, and break it down and get something out of it. Because what I got out of it, you might not be able to get the same thing. You may find something totally different that's going to raise that level of consciousness in you that's going to take you to a whole nother place, a whole nother direction. So it's very important that you do that for yourself. It's very important to get yourself a library in your home. Every man, every woman should have a library. I don't care if you got a small bookshelf. It should be full of books. It's a bookshelf. And you should have read most of the books in your bookshelf. That's why it says to learn and subdue yourself, right? But in the process, what you're supposed to be doing, occupying your mind with useful knowledge. Absolutely. Always applying it, always reading, always learning. That's what we don't do in this order, in the craft. We don't do that. We're too busy trying to bring someone else down or trying to cause someone else some hurt. Hurt people, hurt other people. They do. I heard people say, my Freemasonry. You don't own it. My Freemason. What are you doing with my free? You don't own it. And I guarantee you don't even understand it. Can you teach from it? Can you teach from it? When I traveled with my past Grandmaster, when I traveled with him, we always practice our opening and closing ceremonies. We always practice on how to give lectures and how to present the documents and paperwork. That's what we did. So in the framework, so when a brother came to the lodge, he had the information. Lodges are a place where you're supposed to go be able to teach and be able to educate a member. Yeah, it's for conversation that you don't necessarily have in public. I'm going to say this again. Lodge meetings are for places and having conversations that you don't necessarily have in public. And now I know you're going to be saying, well, what type of conversation are those? Well, you have to go to the lodge meeting to have those, because everybody's not interested in those type of conversations. Now, I can tell you this, in my lodge that I'm in, Hosea Lodge number 7 and the Master's Council, the conversation we have are very esoterically. They're very all over the place. That's the better way I can put it. Because we want to educate and we want to teach. Plain and simple. We don't want a brother to come to the meeting and it bores him because you're doing the same old thing at every meeting. No. We want to be able to enlighten you. We want this to be an exciting time in your day. Because one thing about time is free, can be given freely, and it's worth a whole lot, and you want something for it. Your time is worth something. Don't waste it just because you go into a meeting and your meeting and you didn't get anything out of the meeting. As a brother of the craft in my lodge, in the Master's Council, in Aries Lodge, and Faith Lodge, and any other lodges I've visited, I've gone to, I want you to get something out of coming to your meetings besides how much you got in your checking account and when is the next meeting and when we're going to eat. Let's go break bread and eat. No, I want to open up that pineal gland. I want to open up that spark. I want to be able to turn on that light to make you think. I want to take you down a rabbit hole and pull you up. I want to take you to a place that you never thought you was going to go to. I want to enlighten you. What I want for me, I want it for you. And I'm going to pour it all into you. I want my emotions and I want my passions to be part of that conversation. And to be in such a controlled environment till you understand exactly what I'm saying. That's what I want for you when you come to my meetings. That's what I want for you when you are part of Freemasonry. Not this subdued thing, not this thing, yeah, right, what's for that? Oh, no. That's all good in the formula, but no, it's more to it. It's absolutely more to it. And that's what I want for you. Let me see, can I catch up? Know thyself. Once you know, you can give. Absolutely. Let me tell you, this is what you do. If you have a bookshelf, turn that bookshelf into your small library. Get yourself a book, read a book once a month. That's 12 books a year. That is what I will hope that you would do. Or read a full book. Do that for you. And I'm quite sure it is going to be some things that you didn't know. Absolutely, it's going to be some things you didn't know. Do that for you. Get yourself a small bookshelf, fill it up, and read one book a month. That's 12 books a year. And if you can do better than that, take 2. But make sure those books that you read are going to be able to put something in you. Do that for you. Every man, every woman should have a small library. If you got a bar in your house or a place you got drinks, you should have a place where you got books. Books to help enlighten you. You should. My masonry has nothing to do with freedom. Okay, your masonry has nothing to do with freedom. Or maybe you're saying your masonry has nothing to do with Freemasonry. And if that is so, well, that's cool too. But when you understand Freemasonry, it's enlightened. It's enlightened. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna take that. What's the call-in number? Okay, so the call-in number, once again, is going to be 619-286-0642 is the call-in number tonight. If you want to call in, certainly you're welcome to do so. 619-286-0642 is the call-in number. I'll wait just for a little while longer. And if you got questions you want to ask, Come on, let's have that conversation tonight. I would have my administrator, if they don't mind, to please put that in the chat for me if they're still on. Life is spiritual. It is certainly that. But how many of us know how to move within that? If we're saying that life is spiritual, how many of us is able to move into that? Greetings.
Greetings, Brother Muhammad. This is Brother Westcott in New York. How are you?
I'm all right. Why are you trying to call me and I'm on my phone?
Oh, no, I thought you were on YouTube.
No. I haven't did that. I am on YouTube, but I'm using my phone tonight.
Oh, okay. Because I just dialed the number that you just said over the channel.
Yeah, I'm good. So look, how's your health, brother? How's your health? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm working on another IT certificate in order to get back to work in cybersecurity.
Okay.
Yeah, right. But I wanted to call in to add into the conversation tonight. So that's why I use this number. If I use the wrong number,
no, you good.
Know which one.
Go ahead. Talk to me. What you got? You live right now.
Okay. All right. Cool. First of all, greetings to all the brothers and sisters that are watching. Peace to everybody and their families and everything. I hope everybody, has a really nice holiday, regardless of what God you follow. Now, as far as the topic at hand, I was the one who said, today is a good day because I'm looking down at the grass. That was me.
All right.
But as far as the topic, part of the answer or a hint of the answer is in our first degree grip. Okay?
Okay.
In the meaning of the first degree grip. Let me put it that way.
Uh-huh.
And in the meaning of the first degree grip, we know what the conversation is, what is this, all of that. We already know that. The meaning of the grip is in between those lines, which is where the secrets of Freemasonry is. The secrets of Freemasonry is not written on any line in any book or ritual that we touch.
Absolutely not.
The secrets of Freemasonry are between the lines. It's what they don't say is where the secret is.
Okay.
Okay. Now then, in the secret, as far as going back to the first degree grip, if we're gripping each other, what you're telling me and I am telling you through that grip is that I have a firm grip on my passions and desires.
I like that.
Now then, that doesn't mean that our grips are perfect. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Because we can lose our grip and fall off.
Okay.
But we should develop the strength and the wisdom to resume our grip as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because in everyday language, when somebody gets out of control, if somebody gets out of control, what's one way that they will say it? Oh, I lost the hold on myself.
Yeah, I lost my grip.
Right. And that goes right into this first degree grip.
I like that. Hey, that's why I say all the time, we can always, if we're willing to have a conversation with, you can always learn something from somebody.
Right. And that goes back to Pebble Stew, but I'm a sidestep that, but let's put a pin in the Pebble Stew situation.
Uh-huh.
back to the grip. Now then, as time goes on, you'll get better and better at maintaining that grip on your passions and desires. It's not going to be perfect, but through time it will get stronger so that you are less likely to lose your grip. Okay? So it's just practice. You're practicing on how to control yourself.
Right.
To me personally, like I said, I've learned how empty my negative passions are. So those are easy, like a paper bag to crumple up and throw away.
Uh-huh.
Right? My emotions, I've detached from allowing them to compel my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that I don't feel my emotions. I just don't allow my emotions to put a battery in my back and make me do something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, because we all have been in places or maybe in circumstances to where we have allowed our emotions to get the best of us. And then now we want to go back and apologize. It is best that you are able to put those emotions in their rightful place when they're needed. Because if you're not able to do that, your emotions will have you locked up in jail. Right,
exactly. You know, because we've all heard the question and answer. Hey, why did you X, Y, Z? The devil made me do it. But the thing is that the only thing that the adversary, which is what I call that force or that idea or that concept, the main two weapons of the adversary are fear and doubt.
Right.
If you can blunt those or take those weapons out of the adversary's quiver, you've gone a long way to keep the adversary from touching you. Okay. And having an influence on you to manipulate your feelings and then compel you to do something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna add to this conversation tonight. I know we're talking about emotions and passion, but as Masons go into the winter sorceress, did I say that right?
Right.
As we enter,
yes, sir.
Yes, as we enter into that, what does that mean for you?
It's a time for reflection, and looking ahead to the next cycle, of renewal, closing off some things, to end with the cycle, because the Christ that is me is not dead.
Okay.
Like lie down and go to sleep for 3 days, but ain't dead.
So I'm gonna share with you what this time of year means for me.
Yes, sir.
It means death. And I know people is like, what is he talking about? Man, this is the season to be jolly.
I understand what you're getting at, and my pushback is that, I can agree that it's the death of one cycle, but it's the birth of the next.
Absolutely. We're on the right page.
I can agree with you on the death aspect, sure.
And let me explain that, because some people may say, he means to tell me that winter solstice means death? Absolutely. And I say that because you can't grow food in the winter time.
No.
So
Well,
everything.
not the winter time of the north.
So what now?
Northern hemisphere, you can't grow food.
Well, you can grow food all over the world, but I'm just saying in retrospect, in winter, wherever winter may be at, you're not going to be able to grow crops as you would want to.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do that until springtime.
Right.
Springtimes mean anew. This is why the farmers always, if they got crop that is left over, they mow it down. They take it all down. If they didn't sell it, they taking it down.
Right.
And they just turn it back into the earth, and they'll wait again, and then they will plant the seeds, and then they will grow their food.
Right.
So,
now, there's something that I could go into, but I'm not sure if I should actually mention this because of what it speaks to as far as, I'll just say, our reception.
okay.
And I'm kind of hesitant on saying it because we're open on YouTube.
Well, don't say it. Wait till we go back and have our private study sessions like we do,
right.
and then we'll bring that up.
Right, right.
You know.
And, hey, I just circumambulated it right there, you know, because my natural urge was the impulse to just let it out. But I thought about what I was going to say and the context in which we are speaking, and I thought against it, at least to pump my brakes and ask the question.
Uh-huh.
And that's what the exercise of having a grip on your passions and desires will do. Absolutely.
So I got another question with you.
Yes, sir.
When do the new year? This is a trick question. You got to think about it.
Okay.
When is the new year?
I'm sorry. When is the new year?
When do the new year actually kick in?
Oh, that's the spring equinox.
What month is that?
That's March 21st.
I'm just saying, you know, everybody looking for January.
No, because if you go back into many calendars, let's look at the Roman calendar for example. The springtime. No. I think it was for March, but it may have been for springtime. It was called Primus, meaning the first season, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the sun doesn't really make a showing until the spring equinox when it crosses the ecliptic.
Right. Come on home now.
Okay?
Come on home.
When it comes up of the ecliptic. Now, we call it Easter, but our Jewish brothers and sisters, they call it Passover because it's a celebration of the sun passing over the ecliptic into the northern hemisphere.
Teach. Yeah. Make that simple.
And Easter follows the same pattern, but it's defined differently.
But
Easter is the first Sunday following the full moon after the vernal equinox.
But see,
that's why Easter moves from March to April some years and then back to March. It doesn't follow the sun. It follows the moon.
It does.
Just like Chinese New Year, it follows the moon. That's why in some years it's in January and others in February.
So how many full moons do we have?
That's
a trick question.
I know that number, I'm a guess like 13.
You guessed exactly right. We have 13 full moons. So we have 13 full moons. There should be 13 months. That's for a whole
Right.
nother conversation. I'm just saying,
But,
I just want you to think.
On the Egyptian calendar, there actually were 13 months. There were 12 months of 30 days, and the 13th month of 5 1/4 days. They knew exactly what was going on in the heavens.
Absolutely. So this is some of the things we get into at my lodge meeting, and this is.
I would love to attend by video if I could. But
yeah, we can actually do that by Zoom, but this is some of the things I'm just sharing. I mean,
yeah,
we get into these type of the topics and discussions in my lodge meeting. However, with that being said, what we require is that when a person is bringing forth a lecture, and sometimes it's off the top of their heads, but we prefer that they will have it on paper. So what you do is every meeting, if there's a lecture, that person's able to build up his own notebook or folders with lectures in them. So that person would never need to have a lecture, because at every meeting you get in a lecture.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's what I try to impress my students to do. Get out a pen and paper when I get into this lecture. Now, many of my lectures I've given for 20, 25 years, so I know how they go, and I don't need any index cards or anything, because I've given them for so long, and because of the repetition, they stay fresh in my mind.
Definitely.
But you kind of brought me to the pebble stew with the lectures now, because now I can have a large, one of them deep restaurant pots, right? It's like 2 feet deep and 14 inches across. And all I got is water and a pebble to put in it. That's all I got. But I go around the village, and everybody asks me, what are you lugging that pot for? What do you got in that pot? I said, all I got is some water and a stove. And from one person, they'll give me some corn. Somebody else might give me some carrots. Somebody else might give me some potatoes. Somebody else might give me some beef.
Right.
Celery, carrots, all that good stuff, right? At the end of the journey, we, not I, we all have a very hearty meal, but it started with the pebble stew. But since everybody contributed, now everybody can get a couple of scoops to feed themselves.
Right.
And that's exactly what should be happening when you're giving the lecture.
That is what should be happening. But what we find now in a lot of Masonic lodges is that this is not actually what takes place.
Yeah. And that from my perspective, and I could be wrong, from my perspective, those that knew the esoteric part of the work, that loved to dig in it, right? They were allowed to die out, and nobody stepped in their place to keep that information alive and to dig further. Because in one of our charges is to not only preserve Masonry as it is, but to add on to it and then pass it on. Right. Okay. So I tell my new brothers all the time, what I have has lost the wow factor for me because I've already discovered it. I've already connected it with other things. Right? The only way that same piece of information will regain its intrinsic value or its wow factor is when I give it away. Absolutely. And I watch the lights go on in somebody else's house.
Absolutely. And you know what? You know what else? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change the subject again. I'm gonna change again. This is gonna be that. This is
All
gonna
right,
be.
come on.
This is gonna be our last topic for tonight.
Okay.
This particular subject matter deals with those who are in a position of leadership within the framework of the country, and they become
Okay.
Masons. So the question is, why do you think, and I'm gonna give my opinion last, why do
Sure.
you think so many prominent leaders have chosen to come through the doors of Freemasonry? I'm gonna say that again. Why? Your thoughts on why do you think so many prominent leaders, be it black or white, whatever their nationality may be, chose to come through the doors of Freemasonry or Freemasons?
I'll say, from my first thought right now, it's a two-pronged answer. The first is the network with other men that you would not probably come across in your daily travel. That's one. Two is the discipline and the training that you get from attending the meetings, doing research, and organizing information, which is readily applicable to business. And with business, you can get into politics. Because I have a couple of businesses that that I'm going to be getting off the ground, and the stuff that I've learned in Freemasonry has given me a framework on how to conduct my business, but also to conduct myself with other people in terms of my business.
Okay.
So not only just abiding by the laws of the country, city, state that I'm in, but to be fair to those that I am dealing with, and in fairness, you can get into one of the notable higher degrees beyond 3, but basically you're looking at justice when, how would I feel if I was walking in their shoes and they did this to me? How would I feel? What would I feel would be a correct course of action in order for me to have been satisfied, in this situation, so that, this issue is rectified?
Well,
so I put myself in their shoes and I come up with a solution. Okay, this seems like it would be fair, and it's not too much of a burden in order to do this, in order to, okay, I might take a little bit of a haircut, but they can come back later on and be a loyal customer.
Okay. If
I go just a little bit extra.
So in the overall picture, in looking at that, why do prominent people come to the doors or go through the doors of Freemasonry? I think it's because of the conversations without judgment that you can have on a level playing field without being judged, and have those conversations that are very much so taboo per se, that you would necessarily have in a public forum.
Yes, and that's a great third prong, and building on that, piggybacking on that, is just the amount of power that you would receive in just expanding your mind before or even after having a conversation with a brother on a given topic?
I would take a dear friend. No, I'm not going to use him, but I would take Manly P. Hall, for instance. Before Manly P. Hall was a Mason, he was giving lectures.
Yes.
And what the Masons did is that they brought him in and then they closed him off from everybody else. So he was no longer giving those same lectures freely to the public, but he gave them to the brotherhood within Freemasons.
Right, yeah, the Philosophical Research Society, which is out by you in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. The same can be said there's for the Rosicrucians, who has a temple up in the Bay Area. The same can be said for them. So, you know, when you look at individuals who have come through those doors, who are prominent individuals, they want to have a conversation. But but most people are not ready to have those conversations. So that's why, in my own opinion, that they choose to come through those doors. It is because of the essence of the brotherhood of Freemasonry. It is because of the essence of having those particular conversations that most people don't want to have. It is because of all of that that they enter the doors of Freemasonry.
Right, or can't have those conversations because we all know that many are called, but few are chosen.
With that being said, I appreciate it. Look, we've been on here for a little over an hour and a half. I want to say thanks to everybody for definitely joining us. Thank you, Brother Leftcoat. I appreciate you, man, and I'm glad to know that your health has definitely gotten better. My prayers goes out to those who have lost loved ones. And I know that sometimes around this year, people can really be in a bad state, man. They can really be in a bad position, you know. So it is my hope and it is my prayer that you get through this season of grief, you get through this season of mourning, whatever it's bringing to you. I pray that you'll be able to get through it because, you know, it can be rough. It can definitely be rough.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping. That is my hope.
I would just ask two things. For the brothers and sisters that are watching us right now, call the brother or sister that you have not seen or heard from in a while. Just to say hi. Because we're supposed to be our brothers and sisters keepers, so just making a simple phone call, you know, checking out, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? You know, it's holiday time, blah, blah, blah. You know.
Greetings. I want to send a big shout out to Brother Walker up in Reno, Las Vegas, Nevada, Reno, Nevada, way up there. I want to send him a big shout out. I'm trying to get your way, bro. I'm trying to get to you. There's a lot going on, but we're going to definitely keep Brother Byers, who's a member of his lodge, in our prayer. So big shout out to Past Master now, Brother Walker. Big shout out to you. So
the second thing I would ask is if everybody would repeat after me. It's a very quick prayer, you know, very short, no more than even 30 seconds. Okay?
You got a prayer you want to do?
Yeah, really, really short.
Well, do the prayer then.
Very simple. May the Lord.
May the Lord.
Watch between.
That's old school. Watch between.
Yes, me and thee.
Me and thee.
While we're absent.
While we're absent.
From one another.
From one another.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. That's it. That's an old school right there.
And amen. And I'll leave it right there.
You're going to leave it right there? That's old school. Yes, so definitely. What's going on, James? How you doing? Hope that you're doing well. To everybody, if I didn't get a chance to answer your questions or to see what you posted, you know, I apologize. I will rewatch this podcast. I just got in. Oh, man, I'm sorry, bro. I appreciate that. Please do rewatch it. It's you know, it's informative. Are you a Freemason? I am a Freemason. I've enjoyed the craft for over 38 years. Affect the body. Let me see. rhythm which regulates sleep-wake cycle, hormonal release, and other psychological. Yeah, if you're talking about the sun and the moon, it does really affect all of that. Absolutely, it does.
And that gets really deep as well.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So look, I'm gonna tune off. Please go back and rewatch. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. What we try to do here is really bring a different point of view, a different dialect. Our subject matters are very broad, very deep. We talk about really everything, and what we want to do as Freemasons, those who know me, those who I've had the opportunity to see, to visit, to have a conversation with, this is what we like doing. That's why Brother Life comes. I thought you was on a Zoom. No, brother, I'm not on Zoom tonight, but I will be. And the next time we have our study session, definitely going to send you that invite.
All right, perfect.
All right, until next time, whatever you do, stay out the bushes, keep your light on. And as Brother Gary Walker would say, he said, I am here to help you study, but I'm not your study guy. If I messed it up, I'm sorry, bro. If I screwed it up, I'm sorry. I think it was something like that. But look, I'm gonna go, man. Before I stick my foot in my mouth. Look, I'm out of here. You can also follow us on TikTok, John G. Jones Research Lodge on TikTok. I might just go on TikTok tonight just to see what's happening over there. But until then, peace.
TikTok might not be around for much longer.
Man, look, I just built up a little following on TikTok. Yeah, TikTok may not be around in a little while. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
sir.
hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Great talking to you.
All right, peace and be well. I'm out.
Blessings to all the brothers and sisters watching, and see you in the new year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Peace.
All right.